Hello everyone and welcome to CBCLIPS. In this week's CBCLIPS, I shared with you a clinical scenario exactly as it unfolded. I was called by the ER doctor to see a 16-year-old boy with severe cerebral palsy and neurodevelopmental delay for presentation with a left acute hydrocele, large, tense hydrocele. Now, right away, just getting this call made me think there's more to this story. Why? Because of an important clinical principle. In an older boy, an acute hydrocele typically means there's an acute intra-abdominal process with peritoneal fluid that has gone into a patent process vaginalis and caused the secondary hydrocele. In small boys, we often see an acute hydrocele during a viral syndrome. In fact, many times it's the first presentation, but in older boys, it usually means an intra-abdominal process. And when I went to examine the child, I confirmed exactly that. The child had a very tense, distended abdomen, and the process was an acute colonic obstruction, as you see in these films. And that brings us to the second clinical principle. Colonic obstructions in children are not common, but there's a certain cohort where colonic obstruction can occur, and that is exactly the patient described here. Patients with cerebral palsy, significant chronic dysmotility disorders, etc., in which the colon is usually chronically distended and can volvulize. And in fact, we took this child to the operating room and found a volvulus of the transverse colon and did a transverse colectomy with a primary anastomosis. This is another patient, more recently, who presented with a cecal volvulus. Again, a child with severe cerebral palsy and chronic neurodevelopmental delay. Thank you, and thanks to all of you who have met the invitation to be guest presenters on CBCLIPS. As I mentioned, CBCLIPS will be off for the month of July, but we will return, God willing, in August with more presenters, more guests, and hopefully making this really an international program where we can all learn together.